Understand that you can use community-focused giving opportunities to grow your business.
Right. But you should be doing it with the pure intentions. Don't get this twisted.
You know the Zoom call is lit when you have nearly 2,000 people still hanging out
10 o'clock
at 10 o'clock at night. That's what I talk about when I think about engagement. That's like engagement on crack. But we'll have more about that in an upcoming episode. And you may or may not have heard me talk about the Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women Initiative. It's a $10 billion investment commitment that Goldman is making over the next 10 years to impact the wealth.
$1 billion a year.
And the opportunity gaps Black women in this country experience. And so the goal is to touch at least 1 billion Black women. No, 1 million Black women. And to that end, we were part of a listening tour last night. And like I said, we had over 2,000 people on Zoom and can't even count how many people were on YouTube. So I look forward to sharing a lot of great information about that initiative. It's not really an initiative. It's more like a movement.
Yeah. It's a lot of giving going on in that movement.
A lot of giving going on. And it's not even Christmas, but 'tis the season to give back. In business, it's always good to give. Would you not agree with that?
100%. Depending how you're giving.
All right.
Or what your intentions are when you start to give.
All right. So today we'd like to talk to you about how to give back to your community in meaningful ways, especially if you are in business. Chief, would you like to tell the people in Commerce and Chill Land what we most recently did in terms of the give back?
So if you're not following me on Instagram, shame on you. You should
Waleed C,
with 2 E's.
WALEEDCEE
Right.
on Instagram.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's a hype person. So yeah, recently we teamed up with a bunch of like-minded individuals and other businesses for a free clothing giveaway that happened in Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Bank. The goal was, because during COVID, you'd be surprised how many of the clothing collection and clothing drive centers that people depend on to get clothing, free clothing we're talking about, for themselves, their children, family members, etc., have closed. So they're not accepting donations. They're not taking clothing because of COVID. So, they're worried about transmission, et cetera, et cetera.
And if you think about it, with people spending so much time at home, they had extra time to clear out their closets of things that they could no longer fit or were no longer wearing because they weren't going to work. Oh, yeah.
Was it the freshman 15?
The COVID-19.
The COVID-19, right? You pick up an extra 19 pounds because you're sitting at home all the time or working from home.
It was legit.
Right.
So then they had
you could go there and get a whole
fitting
outfit.
You as if you were in a real men's boutique.
They had team members there who would measure you so you know exactly what your sizes were. So then you could pick right off the rack and get something that fits you. And everything was clean. It was individually wrapped. It was a real great experience. I want to say, I posted some photos. The Soapbox posted some photos. I did on Instagram. I would say easily, and I'm just guessing, and I'm just talking about the clothes that we ran through, that we did for the cleaning. They easily had at least 5,000 plus garments that they were giving away. Shoes, clothes, you name it. They was there for individuals to get. It was a great event. It was a great group of like-minded people. And it was well received, and people in the community were coming in. They couldn't believe it, and they were touched. And then we ended up Shani ended up having some discussions with some other institutions who ended up getting some of the clothing too afterwards, because there's a lot of clothes still available once
at the end of the event.
At the end of the event.
Yeah.
So they coordinated with some other organizations who were coming to pick those up so they could give them out to their clients. that they work with who are in need of clothing.
So
it was good.
What was the incentive for the soapbox to participate in something like that?
Well, it's all, I like doing good. So we've had a couple clients who either fell on hard times or became ill. And one that I could think of is super awesome. And I won't put her name out there and I won't put her on blast, but she's super awesome. Her and her family, they support us a lot. They give us a lot of shout outs on Instagram and social. But she took ill, and we found out through social that she was ill because she had posted it and told someone. And because she was ill, she had an exorbitant amount of medical bills. So I would say, I don't know, maybe 8 months, give or take, we did all her laundry and dry cleaning for free. Absolutely no charge. I didn't care what it cost because she had done so much for us in the past. Just by her taking a photo of her laundry and putting it on her Instagram to her community to say, support them, use them, meant a lot to me. So for us to be able to give back to her in that way was awesome, and it made us feel good that we were able to, I don't want to say repay it, but give back for someone.
It forward.
Exactly. Like she did it for us with out of kindness of her heart, and I was like, at the minimum, this is the least we could do. So it really happened off of two good friends who are, a married couple, Tywan and Shani, who are good friends with us. I've known Tywan since we were on Community Board 3 in Bed-Stuy together back in the day. He's still there. Power to the people fighting for the community and doing good. I retired from the Community Board after like 8 years. But he's still there, putting in a good fight, getting in good trouble. He mentioned to Shani, his wife, because she's part of the gift shop BK, they had talked about they need someone to business to launder and dry clean the clothes before they do the giveaway. And he was like, talk to Jessica and Waleed, the soapbox. So it was an instant connection because it was a relationship we already had, which, we can talk about later, relationships and staying in contact with people, how important it is. And we kind of talked about that when we were all downstairs on a lower level at the Brooklyn Bank. When it was like a lunchtime, and a couple of the businesses and individuals who were responsible for the activities and coordinating the event, we were all together and just talking about how important or how different people we all knew through, 6 degrees of separation. Yeah.
What's the business case for doing something like that? Because I'm sure that with that volume of clothing, on a volunteer basis, it's not like we made a lot of profit from that engagement.
No, when that's all said and done, the time we put into it, yeah, like we carried a lot of clothing in and out in the van to get it picked up and delivered. Like I overloaded my car. It was fun. It was crazy. My legs are still burning a little bit. Clearly, I'm out of shape.
Business case.
Like we'll make peanuts, and when I say peanuts off of it, we'll probably make a couple $100. But the purpose of it was not to make money. Let's be clear. If we break even on it, we'll probably be like, I'll be fine with it,
right?
Because we're looking at what people have donated, because they have donations. They were collecting donations to get the clothes cleaned. And then they use all the donations to put towards the cleaning of it and some of the event. And you can actually go to the Soapbox's donation page. We have a donation page set up for them where you can donate directly to the cleaning of those articles. That will help reduce their cost dramatically. So by the time we look at, time we put in, we're going to make some donation towards the amount that it costs. We'll probably either break even or to be like a couple $100. But that's not the reason we did it is not about the money. It's about two things. One, giving back, because you have to remember, if you have a local small business, that community has supported your business for whatever time they were there. So to me, I feel obligated to give back to my community because they don't have to walk in the door. Granted, I should be providing a good service. And people are coming in because they're not coming in as a favor to be like, oh, it's Waleed, it's Jessica, or it's whoever. Like, let's just come in here and spend our money to be like, hey, what's up? I like you. you're providing them a service and you want it to be a good service and of value. But at the same time, they don't have to come to your business. So it's to me, it's like it can get a little blurry and people can talk about it and look at it different ways. And this whole movement that's going on about supporting businesses and supporting minority-owned businesses.
And supporting local.
Because I think, and local businesses.
Especially in the, as COVID.
They could go other places.
Right. But with COVID and people being so close to home, I think that what we saw was an increased use of local businesses.
Yeah, but they could still use other local businesses.
True.
There are other businesses who aren't as local as we are, that are somewhat larger, that they can use their website or app and they will send their services over to pick up their clothing or whatever. So to me, it's about, like, I feel obligated that the business has to give back in one form or another, because the community has always, and I use the word support loosely, because when I think of support, I think like people, I'm doing something, I'm giving something to you because I want to. Like
you're making a choice.
Like Girl Scout cookies. Like, I don't buy the Girl Scout cookies from my nieces or their friends or whoever's selling them because I really love Girl Scout cookies. There are a couple of the flavors are okay, but I'm not really like, I gotta buy them. I'm buying them to support them because it's a fundraiser for them to do something else. So when I say support a local business, I don't like to use that word too much because they're coming to get to buy a product or service. But there might be some other factors behind it. You're local. You're small. And we're saying that your product or service is good. Right. We're going to say that's all things even. That's the given that your product and service is good. But these individuals will choose to come to your business because it's local, because your staff is friendly, or you go above and beyond. Like, you do something or you have something that makes them say, you know what? Their product and service is good, but they also do this, or they have this, or they're about this. This is their mission, or this is their cause. And I want to support that thing that this business is about.
Right.
I think that's important. So to me, that's when you say the business case, it's about realizing what the community has done for you, for your business, what it has done. Like, I live in the community. Like, we still live in Brooklyn. We still live in Bed-Stuy.
We live separately.
Right. I was about to say I grew up, but then I said live. But I grew up in Bed-Stuy. So like a lot of our clients, not a lot, because the neighborhood has changed over time. But
there's a
good portion of the clients like that knew me when I was a kid, and they're like, that's Pal, that's Little Cope, that's Waleed. Like, they don't know.
That's Little DC.
Right. They don't look at me as the Waleed today. They look at me as like Waleed running around with glasses with a little afro, like riding his bike in the neighborhood. And they're like, wow, look, he's running the business now, and it's good, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, sorry.
So before we go any further, I just want you to know that if you have a business, or you're starting a business, you're thinking about starting a business, understand that you can use community-focused giving opportunities to grow your business.
Right. But you should be doing it with the pure intentions. Don't get this twisted. Like, and this is what like kind of gets me. And if you think back, and this is where I think it kind of like became mainstream, Tom's shoes. They did this. You buy a pair of shoes, they give a pair of shoes because of their mission. Totally respect it. But then I started seeing businesses who always started dropping this thing in to be like, when you buy from us, we plant 3 trees in the desert. Or if you buy from us, we send 3 bottles of water to this. Or if you buy this, we give this to a family in need. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, to have a mission-driven business that is socially responsible, whatever the right term is. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing it purely for the optics, to think that that's going to drive your sales, or you're donating to the local block association, or you're donating to the local community board, or to the Boy Scout troop, or the Girl Scout organization, or whatever it is, if you're doing it just to be like, if I do this, I'll get more exposure and then I'll get more business, that's not the reason to do it. Like, your stuff is twisted. You should be doing it because you clearly want to do it, because you want to do it. Did I say that twice? You want to do it. Did I say that 3 times? Because you want to do it, not because you're doing it with some ulterior motive. If you're giving because you want to get, it ain't going to work for you. People are going to see through that. They're going to smell it. You're not going to pass the sniff test. You should be giving through your business or personally because you truly want to do it, not expecting something else in return.
Right. And I just want to really quickly give the etymological basis for the word
blue screen.
give. It's from Old English giefan, Giefan, West Saxon. It means to give, bestow, deliver to another, allot, grant, commit, devote, or entrust. So really, it's about what happens to the person on the receiving end. It's not so much about you.
Well, that goes back to what I said before. Like when we do something and I see the reaction of the other person, like, you're doing this, like that blows me away because I know it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like, how much is that going to really cost us? And when I say cost, not just monetarily, labor or effort or whatever, how much is it really going to cost us? How much is it really taking away? And like, you know, and speaking from the other point, if you want to get, you need to give, but you need to give unselfishly, right? You need to understand that, because if you're constantly just taking, that's what you're putting out there. People are going to see that, like, this person is just all about, or this business is just all about them. Like, where is the community? You know, where is everybody benefiting from this? You know, where are we in this together?
Right. And what I find increasingly as we work with corporations, they want to understand what is our social responsibility goals, what, you know, understand our mission, and they want to see how
our people to work, to give them quality jobs.
They want to see how our values
income
impact how we operate our business, because they want to work with like-minded business owners.
That too, and they want to make sure that they
the
don't get in trouble.
Are
like, they don't get in an entanglement.
Oh no, we don't, no entanglement.
No, but they don't want to. They don't want to soil their brand.
Right.
Like, they get involved with some, you know, vendors or business partners, and then the partner's doing something shady or something that's not in line with their values, and they catch heat over it, in, you know, in the media or in wherever. Like, I totally respect that. Like, I wouldn't want to, you know, have one of our vendors doing something shady, and it comes up later on, and they're like, "You work with them," and I'll be like, I used to work with them, because that's not the same values.
Right.
Totally.
Right. So what are some of the other things that we do at the Soapbox that you'd like to share with the people in commerce and chill land that represent give back opportunities?
Well, you know, one thing, and I you know, and why we started doing it is a good question that I think about it. But it's one campaign we have going on now where we clean one outfit for free to anyone who's going on an interview, you know, that's unemployed. We had someone come in the other day and they were like, so do I have to show proof that I'm unemployed? We were like, no. If you come in and just say, I want to take advantage, you know, I would like to participate in the free outfit cleaning program for an interview. So like, you might not even be unemployed. Maybe things are just tight for you right now because you're going from one job to another, or you need to transition out this job to another one because they furloughed you because of COVID, or you got laid off, but you got a severance package, but you know, it's going to run out sooner or later if you don't have other additional income. Right. So we're doing the suit cleaning. We started it probably just right after COVID happened or something like that started. I can't explain to you, we talked about earlier, the high it is when somebody comes in and they're like, you're going to do this for free? Like, there's no charge. I don't have to pay you later. I'm like, no, we're just doing it. You need it done, and we're going to help you and it's going to help you. Like, to me, it's about paying it forward. Right. So some people have said, like, do I need to come back and pay you later? We were like, when I get a job, I was like, no, like, you don't need to do anything.
Just go get the job.
Get the job and go help somebody else.
Exactly.
That's all I want you. Exactly. I want you to take this opportunity that we gave you to put you in a good position, and then you take that position, the good position you're in now, and help somebody else get in a good position. If we're involved in it, so to help somebody else, great. If not, it's just them saying, wow, the suit got cleaned at the Soapbox for free. I wore this suit. I got this interview now. I got a new position, and I end up making more money than I was making at my previous job. Right. Like, and they just take a picture and send me a DM or whatever, or they tag us and be like, thanks, Soapbox. Like that. That's worth $1 million to me.
Can you give people out there who have businesses ideas in how they can connect with some organizations and identify who would be potential partners for give back opportunities?
If you're a small, local, or mid-sized business, I would start as micro as possible. Some people want to just like go and kill a whale and be like, look, like Moby Dick, look, I killed this whale. But you got a rowboat. You trying to take down this big whale that's like thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, and you got a rowboat. Like in the, like, well, not in Moby Dick. I'm thinking of the old man in the sea. He had the little rowboat and he went after the swordfish. He ended up landing the fish, but when he got back to shore, the sharks had eaten the whole thing by the time he got back. But start micro. Like, look in your community where your business is. Listen to the people who are coming into your business. What things are they involved in? What, community involvement do they have? Where do they work? What are their activities like after school programs in the community? Or what's the community board doing? Like, you could simply just sign up at some of these local organizations to their newsletters. And a lot of them are recirculating the information that's going on in the community. And then you have a whole list of things that's going on. And then you just reach out to them and be like, how can I get involved? Like, I was parking around the corner from the soapbox one day, and they have posters up for the Block Association, and they were like, we're looking for donations to help. And I reached out, but the lady, I think it was a treasurer, we kept missing each other. They were having an event that they were raising funds for, and we missed each other, so we missed the event. But I'm going to reach out to her again. They'll do something else, and like, we'll help in some kind of way that we can. But start local and look at the local events and organizations that are there, and see how you could get in to help them. It could be like just giving I don't know. It could be money. It could be time. It could be food. Mm-hmm. It could be having your team members at your business go volunteer on their day off, and they wear your uniforms, and people are like, wow, look, the people from this cafe, they came to help.
I would say, I always say people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so who do you already know? What things are they involved in? Like
the gift shop BK with somebody we already
connection. Use your current connections and associations to identify opportunities to get involved with things that interest you, and then bring your business know-how to the table. When you're representing yourself, you're representing your business, and when people see what you're able to do, they'll affix that to what your business is capable of doing, and that could lead to positive returns for your business.
And you should share what your business is doing in the appropriate way with your community. And when I say your community, your clients and customers. So a good example would be, we sent out an email to all of our clients about the gift shop BK event to let them know, one, so they could participate if they know they need anything themselves or know of anyone. Two, that they could make a donation to help offset the cost of the dry cleaning for the gift shop BK. We shared that to let them know about it. And then they ended up resharing it. Like, we had one of our clients, put it on their Twitter account.
And you didn't mention in the post that we did the dry cleaning, did you?
Zero.
You just mentioned this awesome event, come out, participate.
Never mentioned we were working with them, if I remember correctly, in the newsletter email we sent out. And I just put in the bottom, like, all proceeds that are raised will go to pay for the dry cleaning for the clothes that they're giving away for free. I never mentioned the soapbox. Now, yeah, you're right, I didn't. And sometimes it's better just to be under the radar, right. Be on the humble,
right? Because there will be a time where people will approach you and your business about sponsorship and marketing opportunities. And you're going to want to know how many targets, whether or not it meets the people that you're going to do business with, how many eyeballs, what's the audience. That'll be important. But if you're giving just to give,
just do it.
It's nice to know, but it's not necessarily something that you
There are
need
people
to
that
know.
ask us to, like, oh, you want to be a sponsor? And I'll ask them, like, what's your demographics? Where's this going to be? What publications? Like, even on social, people are like, oh, you want a paid shout out? I'm like, yeah, send me a screenshot of all your analytics on the back end on your Instagram. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I want to see, like, if your people are based in, shout out to my people in Atlanta, if they're based in Atlanta, it ain't going to help the soapbox much because we're not picking up laundry and dry cleaning in Atlanta. Now, if you want to mail your sneakers to us from Atlanta for us to clean and ship back to you, we offer that service. So that wouldn't make sense.
Right.
But I would want them to make sure we're targeting a certain audience.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be targeting, if they majority of audience is, senior citizens at a retired living facility.
They might want to keep their kicks clean and crisp.
They might, but
folks in Atlanta, they like to stay silky sharp.
So I'll be like, I don't know. I want to see the demographics and make sure I'm reaching the audience that we need to reach.
Yes, 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 and yes. So,
So you do some stuff like with Here to Here we've mentioned in the past,
yes,
and you give a lot of time.
yes.
And JSB participates in different ways. Share a few before we wrap up. How you see that as a benefit, as a benefit to the organization, and to JSB as well as yourself. Like, why do you do it? What are you getting out of it?
Here to Here is a local community organization based in the Bronx that helps provide job skills for Bronx-based youth, and largely they have a number of different programs. But the main focus that I work with at Here to Here is on the skill-based jobs for youth, and not necessarily you might be able to get those in school, because we're finding that young people are having a harder time getting internships in their first jobs. And I got involved on the strength of two things. Number one, I was asked. Someone whom I serve on another board with was like, "This is a great opportunity. Will you join us?" And
So
I said,
sitting on boards.
I said, "Sure."
Look into that, people.
Not a problem.
Sitting on
And
boards.
then the other thing is, because I'm kind of selfish, because I realized that the youth are one day going to be adults and are one day going to be the workforce. And so I would much rather have a hand on how they develop, because I know that one day they might come and work for us. So that's why I give my time
Or I
and my
might need to
talents.
get a job from them.
Or we might need to get a job from them. True.
never
And in
know.
the process, we get to interact with a number of other local businesses or businesses that support local youth. There's a good feel good in watching the young people develop and being a part of the conversation. So like, as part of the work with Here to Here, we've hosted interns, we've written letters to city council, we're on meetings. We've also worked with an initiative called the Bronx Recovery Corps that's trying to help people come out of COVID with jobs. So we get to do a lot of fun things with them, and they're right down the block, so that makes it easy. So don't think it's something that you have, like it's a heavy lift, because there are a lot of other people on the committee. They want to see my participation, they like my insights, and I feel appreciated. So do good while being good, something like that.
I don't know. Put it on a T-shirt. That sounds good. Do good by being good. I don't know. Whatever.
And then
it is.
and then Johnson Security
on a quote.
benefits from positive associations from working with these other great people, and really getting to hear the youth and their take on the future of the workforce. So I really appreciate having that opportunity.
Yeah. So more of the story is give,
Give.
but give with the right intentions.
So in closing, I'd like you to think about this quote from the wonderful Queen icon, Maya Angelou. When you learn, teach. When you get, give. And that's my thoughts.
Yeah. So give more, people. Give more. But give without expecting anything in return. Do it for the right reasons.
Start locally. Start with people that you already know. And then share what you're doing. And you're bound to see you grow personally and your business grow when you give.
The smallest things have the biggest impact. You'd be surprised. Hey, if you've got a story to tell about your personal story with business or starting a business or getting in business, DM us, email us, hit us up. We're taking guests on the Commerce and Chill podcast, and we want to hear your stories and share them with everyone else out there. So don't be shy. Hit us up. Reach out to us. We look forward to having you on Commerce and Chill.